Hey everybody, welcome to Quotable, Morgan and Dutch. You know who I am.
I hope you know who I am.
Goddamn right. And we're doing a little something special for Thanksgiving. I didn't realize that this was a Thanksgiving movie.
Not many people do realize that this is a Thanksgiving movie.
Because they don't really talk about Thanksgiving a whole lot. You just know that he's trying to get home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And what movie is that?
It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Wrong.
Shit.
False. Black Bear. Bears. Beats. Battlestar Galactica. No, we're talking about the holiday classic, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I've never seen it.
Oh, we're going to watch it now. So I knew about this movie, and I don't recall ever watching it growing up.
Honestly, I love this movie. I've seen this movie. I watch it. I try to watch it every year around Thanksgiving. This one here, yeah, it is a Thanksgiving movie because that's what Neal Paige, who's played by Steve Martin, is trying to do. He's trying to get from New York to Chicago to get home for Thanksgiving
during a damn winter storm.
Yeah. You'll never make the 6.
I've been watching it over the past couple of weeks just to prepare for this episode, and to be honest with you, like the more I watch it, the more enjoyable it becomes, the funnier it gets. I mean, obviously, watching it with you is funnier because, you know, we notice stuff watching it together, things that you'll point out that I may have missed, and then I'll point things out to you that maybe you never noticed before. But
yeah, because in all honesty, I mean, I've watched this movie, like I said, every year, at least once or twice a year for the past 20 years. And I've never noticed until 20 minutes ago when Ben Stein is making the announcement on their canceling the flight. And behind there's a sign that says, you know, flight 999 delayed. Destination nowhere.
And see, I really didn't know what to expect from this movie. And the first time I put it on and watched it with you, I see that John Candy's character is going to be a little bit obnoxious, but it wasn't as over the top as I was expecting it to be. I think his level of obnoxiousness actually went down as the movie went, but like on the other head of the coin is, did he get less obnoxious or did you just get more used to it? Right. That is a good point.
Because, I mean, it first starts off with, you know, Neal Paige needs to find a cab in New York 2 days before a holiday. So what does he do? He's trying to track down a taxi. And then you see the ever so handsome gentleman, Kevin Bacon, who's credited in this role as Taxi Racer. Yes,
not to be confused with Taxi Racer.
Yeah. No, they're racing to get to a taxi.
That's a different character.
Yeah. So, and then there's an attorney that is successfully flags down a cab, which is funny because you don't see Neal trying to flag down a cab at all.
No,
like
he comes
he's just
out of
looking
nowhere
around. And this guy successfully hails a cab. It pulls up, parks, and then he's like, "Oh, could you just find it in your good nature around the holidays just to let me have your cab?" And it's like the guy's just, no. It's like, I'll give you $10.
He's like, I don't have good nature.
Yeah. It's like, I don't have good. And he was like, oh, yeah. And then what did he say? He was like, close. I'm an attorney.
Yeah. I don't remember what brought that on. It's like, well, you're trying to steal my cab? Or he's like, what are you, a thief? He's like, no, close. I'm an attorney. At least he's self-aware.
He was like, I'll give you $20. And he's like, make it 50. He's like, all right. And he was like, surely anyone that would pay 50 would definitely pay 75. It's like, not necessarily. But okay. So he pays $75 for a cab.
But during this whole conversation, you see a trunk get loaded into the trunk.
Yeah.
How redundant is that?
So it just takes off. And it's funny that I can't imagine that you're standing there arguing with the guy on the side of the street on, you know, all right, fine, I'll give you $75 for this cab, that you didn't notice someone loading stuff up into said cab literally 2 feet from you, and then it just drives off as he's getting ready to get in.
And I don't know if this is an accurate portrayal of how taxi cab drivers really are in New York, but the guy is getting super impatient. It's like, come on, like figure it out. And that just seems to be the trend. And since I've never been to New York City, I don't know.
I could see it being the trend just because of the fact that, that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, if you guys can't figure this out, I'm just going to drive off and find someone that I can give a ride to so I can make money.
Like, I know it's the city that doesn't sleep. It's like, it's just go, go, go all the time. And I have heard stories about like New York delis where if you don't know what you want, by the time you get to the counter, they'll send you to the back of the line, basically.
Right.
Because it's like you're wasting their time.
Yeah. That's how they make their money. So,
well, they're just not very tolerant.
So you said you've been watching it for the past couple weeks and everything. In your opinion, what is your favorite part of this entire movie? And there's the mic hit.
That's my favorite part right there. Every episode. Yep. Without fail.
Damn it.
But it makes for great comedy. I gotta say Owen. Owen is my favorite part.
Yeah.
And it's just because the face that he makes when he's trying to clear his sinuses.
Yeah.
And the fact that he does it over and over with this look on his face that's just like, because he doesn't break eye contact the entire time.
No, he doesn't.
And just for context purposes, they're trying to get a ride. I believe at this point they're in Wichita and they're trying to catch a train. And somebody that
it's his dad.
Somebody that Dell has sold shower curtain rings to owes him a favor because apparently everybody that he's sold shower curtain rings to is either now his best friend or they owe him a favor for selling him shower curtain rings. Makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
But I digress.
Yeah, and I've often wondered that because he was like, Gus's son, and Gus is the guy that owns the first hotel that they stay in. He was like, yeah, no, Gus's son is going to give us a ride to the train station. So, and I can't remember. They were in Wichita, but where was he going to drive them to?
Stubbville.
Nah, but it was or was it the train station in Wichita?
He was trying to go to the train station in Wichita, but they didn't know that that's only for like cattle.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, don't run out of Wichita unless you use a hog or cattle.
The people train comes out of Stubbville.
I do like it that they get that Dell and Neal grab Dell's trunk to put in the bed of the truck. And he was like, leave it be. It's like, get your lazy hind end out of there and pick up this trunk. And his wife gets out, who's probably 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, it's fine. It's real heavy. And he was like,
oh, she don't mind.
Yeah, she don't mind. She's like, she's small and skinny, but she's strong. First baby, come out sideways. She didn't scream or nothing.
She slams
the truck door. Like, move out of the way, gentlemen.
But the whole initial meeting of Owen, like he pulls he drives in the pickup truck into the parking lot.
Right.
And they're looking at this truck like, who the hell is this guy? And then it does the token, like, or it's going to be some weird tough guy, backwoods, whatever. And it just shows his boots at first. And then pans up to him. And you get a look at him, and he's just like slowly walking over to the two. And you the shower curtain ring or the shower ring guy.
I love John Candy. Oh, yeah. I love John Candy because he's like, are you Gus's son? He's like, I'm Owen.
I'm Owen.
It's not like, that's not a yes or a no. It's just, I'm Owen.
Yeah.
It's like, you the shower curtain fella? I do like it when he shakes Dell's hand, John Candy. He shakes his hand and then spits, wipes his chin.
Yeah, because he's got dip. He's got dip in, and so he's spitting and hawking at the same time.
Oh God, it's classic.
And I don't know if that was scripted or not.
I don't know either because it looks incredibly natural.
He timed it so perfectly.
Yeah,
where he spits and then just wipes it off right before he shakes Neal's hand.
Yeah,
so funny. Just such a memorable character. And then like I was trying so hard to remember where I'd seen this guy before because he looked so familiar.
Right.
And what I remembered him from was he was Dr. Connors in Spider-Man 3.
Right.
The one with Tobey Maguire, which I think that's the only Spider-Man 3 that ever existed.
Trying to think, like I said, I had seen him in another John Candy movie, Delirious, and I even told you, like, I'm excited about this episode because I love John Candy. May he rest. But it is, John Candy is a phenomenal actor. He's incredibly funny, but he could also be serious when he needed to be. So I enjoy that.
Yeah, and a majority of the characters that I've seen John Candy play, he's been like a likable character.
Right.
And then I guess the one exception would be when he was in Cool Runnings. I hope we do that one at some point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we will.
But at first he was not likable at all. He was an asshole.
I think that's how, like, a few of his roles have been. Like, I think that's how he was in Wagons East as well. I think he was a dick. Mm-hmm. Throughout the beginning of the movie, but then you just come to love him.
Yeah,
so.
I'm trying to remember how he was in The Great Outdoors.
In The Great Outdoors, he was, he was lovable throughout The Great Outdoors just because of, he's a family man. And the only time he's really an asshole is like at the end.
Because I can't remember if Dan Aykroyd was the lead in that one.
I think John Candy was billed first.
Okay. Because I remember only bits and pieces. That's another one that I'll have to go back and watch again because I haven't seen it, I probably haven't seen it in my adulthood.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it. That'll be a good one for next year. Yeah, because that's like a summer movie.
All right, well, put it on the list.
Oh, it's already on there.
But it's funny talking about assholes. Is Neal? He kind of. Not really an asshole, but
he's an asshole.
He's not very tolerant.
I don't even want to say not tolerant. But he seems like he has a very structured life. Like he lives a very certain way. I wouldn't be surprised if every night dinner is steamed chicken and vegetables.
Maybe that's why.
That's it.
Maybe that's why his wife is so irritable.
I think that's why his whole family's so irritable is because of the fact that they're just hungry.
All the time.
But
it's funny in the intro, like the beginning of the movie, you get to see his family and a very, very young Matthew Lawrence.
Yes.
And he wants nuggies. Well, the whole
nope. You get Indian burns.
Yeah, but I prefer nuggies. Well, Neal is running late from work,
right?
Because his boss. I guess they're presenting these magazine covers to like the marketing director. I'm assuming that's who that is.
Yeah, that's I kind of viewed it as like maybe the owner of the company. Like that's his input on it. And it was funny because he was like, God, they're selling cosmetics, not curing cancer.
Right.
It's like, Jesus, just pick one.
Change the record. But he calls his wife to let him know that he's on his way, but he's going to be late. And while she's on the phone, Neal's daughter, she's like interrupting, like, who is it? Who is it? Like, Shut up.
She's like, shh, but who is it? And it's like, shh, it's Dad.
Flight delay. So you only get to see his family a couple of times.
Yeah, it's very brief when you see him. The scenes that his family are in it's very always, maybe tops a minute.
Right. And then, but every time it shows his wife, it's like, she's so dramatic.
I don't even want to say dramatic. Gosh, she just always has that scowl on her face. And I've never really picked up on it until we started watching it to do this episode. When he calls from Wichita, because he gets grounded in Wichita because they couldn't land in Chicago because of the storm. So they're in Wichita. And his wife's reply is, I don't see what a snowstorm in Chicago has to do with you landing in Wichita. What's going on, Neal? Like, I don't trust you one bit.
She comes across that way.
Yeah, that's exactly how it sounds. It's like, oh my God, like, what? And then that first night that she's laying in bed watching a show, at least this is how I took it in. I don't know what show she's watching, but it kind of sounds like it's a TV show, but maybe someone had an affair with someone else. Because he was like, no, we had to do it. He was like, what would you have done? He's like, what would you do if the shoe was on your foot? And she was like, I'd go barefoot. So it just makes me wonder, is like, is she just caught up in her own head because she watches shows about cheating husbands?
Yeah, you think it's foreshadowing, but it's not.
No.
But he did sleep with another man.
Yes. Oh.
Not in the biblical sense.
Yeah. I love that part.
That is a great scene.
Yeah,
yes.
They just wake up spooning. But it's funny because he kisses, John Candy kisses Steve Martin on the ear. And they both just kind of smile like, this is nice. And then he's like, then they realize like, wait a minute. So he's like, Dell? And he's like, love his comeback. So it's like,
there was no cum on his back.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm pretty sure he got cum on his back.
Like Kim Kardashian.
No, he just tells him, he was like, why'd you just kiss my ear? It's like,
why are you holding my hand?
Where's
your other hand?
It's between two pillows.
Those aren't pillows. And it's like they try to play it off and they play this like dun, dun, dun music. They try to overemphasize the awkwardness of the situation.
Yeah, but I do love it because he gets up and he's like, oh, did you catch that Bears game last week? And he was like, oh, yeah, hell of a game. Hell of a team. We're going all the way this year.
Gay.
I think another one of my favorite scenes, and I don't know if it's my favorite scene just because of what's said, but I believe it's one of my favorite scenes because of the delivery right behind it, is when they get pulled over by the state trooper.
Yeah.
And he was like, how fast were you going? And he was like, I can't tell. He's like, the speedometer's melted. And then the cop's like, you know why I pulled you over? And he was like, I'm not really sure. And he was like, yeah, you were speeding. And he was like, you know how fast you were going? And he was like, oh, yeah, no. I was just remarking to my friend here that, the speedometer is melted. So, I mean, I
can't say with any degree of accuracy how fast we were going.
He's like 78. And he's like, oh.
Yeah. Well,
wow,
I could see that. Yeah.
But then he was like, you feel that this vehicle's safe for highway travel? And he was like, yes, I
do.
Should.
I really do.
It's not pretty to look at, but it'll get you where you need to go. But then he's like, yeah, we had a small fire last night. He's like, but we got it under control. And then he tells him, he's like, oh, yeah, well, you have no side mirrors. He's like, yeah, no, we lost those. He's like, no functioning gauges? Nope, not a one. Not a one.
And it's funny that Neal doesn't say a single word this entire time.
I know. He's just... Because he seems like this would be the time where you want Neal to talk, but he doesn't. And then he was like, well, I'm going to have to impound your vehicle. And he's like, okay, look, officer, you got me. You got me. I broke the law.
I did something illegal or whatever. Yeah.
And he was like, but if you impound our vehicle, he's like, I can't get my friend home, which you and I looked it up. They get that car in St. Louis. So St. Louis to Chicago, you looked it up, was like, what?
So 4.5 hours.
4.5 hour drive. I think a lot of people's most memorable scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is actually the scene that's on right now when they're on the highway at night and John Candy spins out.
Yeah, they switch seats because Neal was driving for a short period.
Yeah.
And then Dell takes over and Neal ends up falling asleep.
Right.
And in the process of
trying to take his parka off.
Yeah, because he's getting hot in there. He's smoking a cigarette. He's blaring music. He's playing like The Mess Around by Ray Charles.
Yeah, but it's funny because not only that, but he's air pianoing on the
dashboard.
He's playing like an air saxophone. And yeah, he goes to take his parka off and the little straps on the sleeves get caught on each side of the seat.
Yeah, because it's like he's wearing is it like a members only jacket or something similar?
Something similar to that, but I imagine it's probably like a heavy snow coat.
It's got those stupid loops.
Yeah,
that serve no purpose that I'm aware of.
No, not a one.
Not a one. Just like the gauges. Yeah, he tries to throw a cigarette out the car window and it ends up landing in the back seat, which leads to the fire that melts the car ultimately. But yeah, in the process of getting his jacket off, he steering with his legs, ends up taking an off ramp, and then the car spins up out of control.
Yeah, and he drives back onto the off ramp,
going the wrong way.
Yeah, he's going the wrong way, He's drunk. How the hell does he know where we're going?
Yeah,
that's right.
They're driving parallel to the other side of the highway, and this couple is driving and trying to warn them that they're on the wrong side, but they're screaming at him like, roll down the window. They're trying to tell us something.
Yeah, so he rolls down the window. He's like, oh, this joker wants to race. He was like, all right.
He's like, don't race. Like, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, and he was like, wait, he wants to tell us something. So he rolls down the window, and they're like, you're going the wrong way. And he's like, he said we're going the wrong way. And he's like, he's drunk. How the hell does he know where we're going?
And Neal's like, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, okay, thank you.
Which I think is the only time in the entire movie that Neal has agreed with anything Del says.
Right.
Because they're on two different levels.
Yeah.
The entire movie. There's a couple other things that stood out to me. And you know how we love poking holes in these movies.
Right.
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun to do. We're not conspiracizers, but
no.
We just like making people think.
Yeah.
So the first hotel that they stay in that only had one bed.
Yes.
Del takes the shower first.
Yes.
Uses all the towels in the bathroom except for one washcloth.
Yes.
The floor is wet.
I know. It's like
soaking wet. But he
ungodly wet. So
this is one of the old school hotel or motel beds that you could put the quarter in and it massages you, although all it does is the bed vibrates. That's it. It doesn't really do much to massage. After Neal comes out of the shower and they're laying in bed, it kind of cuts ahead to where they're both trying to sleep, and he's somehow laying in a puddle of beer. And I don't see them ever pick up beer. I don't see the beer ever being on the bed for it to have exploded, but they make comment of it.
Yeah, he's like, you spilled beer all over the bed, but I think Del blames it on the bed. He was like, well, I didn't know that just having it on the bed,
it was going to explode.
Yeah, it was going to explode like that. So I'm assuming that he had the beer on the bed while he turned it on, and it was just doing the massage vibrating.
Yeah, there was nothing on the bed that I remember seeing.
No, but then it's funny because even later, I think the last hotel that they stay in,
they got all those mini shots.
Yeah,
of liquor,
like a mixer 6-pack or something.
But it's that part was kind of funny because it's like they're both just trying to relax, and it's like, you know what, we've had a shitty day.
We've had a shitty week.
Yeah, it's 2 days, but it felt like a fucking week.
Yeah.
But it's like different liquors from around the world.
Yeah.
And so they're just taking different shots, which, the hangover that would ensue the following morning, I can only imagine.
Well, the one thing that I thought was in that scene, when they get that room, Neal goes in and says, I'd like a room for the night. And he was like, I'm going to need a major credit card. And he was like, yeah. Well, his car was in the wall, or his wallet was in the car when it caught fire. So he had melted credit cards. He's like, I got diners. Sets it down. He's like, I got Visa. Sets that down. And he was like, and I got a gas card. And he was like, yeah, these aren't credit cards. He's like, all right, I'll pay cash. It's like $42.50. He's like, huh, okay. It pulls out and he's like, I'll give you $17. It's like, yeah, I can't do that. And he was like, $17 and a really, really damn good watch. So he gets the room, and then it shows John Candy, and he was like, yeah, I'd like to get a room too. He's like, I don't really have any credit cards. And he was like, well, and about the $42.50, I don't have that. And he was like, well, do you have $17 and a really nice watch? No, I got $2 and a Casio. It's like, I'm just gonna have to say goodnight.
So I believe it was the.
But in that scene, he asked the guy, he's like, have mercy. He's like, I've been wearing the same underwear since Tuesday. Well, that scene is supposed to be the night before Thanksgiving, so technically it would have been only one day that he was wearing the underwear.
Yeah. Like I've been wearing the same underwear for 3 days. Like it's only been a day.
Yeah.
So do you frequently wear the same underwear for business trips? I guess.
I don't know. He seems like the type that would change his underwear every hour though. So.
But the first night that they stay in the motel, they get robbed.
Yes.
By the lesbian, I think. Or it could have been a 12-year-old boy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it was like a 16-year-old dude.
Yeah.
Or something.
Maybe. But the next day, they're sitting outside talking about, oh, these are like small time crooks or whatever. So
he's like,
they only
left all
took
the
cash.
plastics. They only took all the cash.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have to charge our way home.
Yeah,
it's like no big deal. But I do like the diner scene where they find out that they've been robbed.
Right.
And Neal is accusing Dell of stealing his money.
You went into my wallet for pizza.
You were going through my stuff.
He's like, oh, no. And then he sets his wallet down and he was like, there's $263 in there. If there's a penny more, then you can call me a thief.
But he's like, I may be a lot of things, but I'm no thief. And I don't appreciate the accusation. But what ages this movie, besides the attire that everybody is wearing, is the fact that he's smoking inside the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's crazy.
I don't miss. I remember that.
I remember it too.
I never understood the concept of smoking sections in restaurants because
I never understood it either. Because it's not like there was a huge wall that
there's
separated
a little
everyone.
glass separation, but it's still exposed above that. You're all still breathing the same air.
Yeah.
So they didn't think that through very well. Yeah, they should have the smoking section outside the building. But I'm glad that they got rid of that because, yeesh. I grew up around secondhand smoke.
So did I.
My grandmother used to babysit for me and my brother when we were little because we lived in a duplex.
Right.
And we lived in the bottom half. My grandmother lived in the upstairs. It's just connected on the outside. But whenever my parents either had to work or they had something going on, my grandma would watch us. And she was a heavy smoker. She would smoke her Viceroy cigarettes.
Nice.
And there were times when, while she was watching us, we would walk to the liquor store and she would pick up her cigarettes because she never drove. So we would just walk or take the bus wherever. But yeah, she would get her Viceroy cigarettes and her Popov vodka.
Nice.
Yeah, she did it.
No, that's a hell of a combination.
Yeah. She taught me and my brother how to flip cars off that wouldn't stop for us.
Awesome.
Yeah. She also taught me how to make one of the best quesadillas you can ever make. May she rest.
May she rest. Yeah, no. And then, back to this movie. I think one of my favorite lines, and I actually looked it up, is after the car catches on fire and, Neal is just so ecstatic and over the moon because he's finally something bad happened to Dell. And he was like, I can't believe this. He was like, wow. He's like, look. He's like, good luck getting your insurance money back on this. He was like, yeah, they're going to be happy as pigs and shit to see you. He's like, how do you expect to return this car? He's like, finally, it happened to you. And then he was like, how'd you even get a car without a credit card? You can't. And then he starts really thinking. And he was like, hey, he goes, no, I gave the girl behind the counter some shower curtain rings. And he's like, you can't rent a car with shower curtain rings. And he was like, yeah, so I was looking in my wallet and somehow your Diners Club card just was in there. And he was like, you stole it. But
there's a lot of accusation.
But right at the end of that whole scene, he just puts his head on John Candy's chest and he was like, are you mad at me? He just reaches back and punches him. But in the next scene, you see him and he was like, you could have killed me with that punch to the stomach if you're not ready for it. That's how Houdini died. So I had to look it up, and that is exactly how Houdini died.
Did he really?
Yeah, he got punched in the stomach and he wasn't ready for it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So he got all the internal organs, I guess.
Yeah. Because that was one of his magic tricks, was that he could take a punch to the stomach. And he was at Harvard?
Didn't somebody do a cannonball?
Or maybe Princeton or something like that. And he was in one of the, like, a prestigious college, and I think a football player or a wrestler was there, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll take whatever punch you can give me. And I think Houdini was about to tell him, okay, just hold on 1 second, and this guy just gut shot him, and he took it like, oh, okay, but then went into the other room and was like, yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Good.
Yeah, so he told his assistant, he was like, I need to go lay down for a little while, and went and laid down and never woke up.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's insane.
It is.
So there's not, there's some physical comedy in here, like Steve Martin and John Candy aren't really known for physical comedy.
No.
The dialogue in this movie is what really makes it, in my opinion, and the conversations that they have, and it's like this banter back and forth, just because they have two completely different personalities.
Yes.
You know, like one of the parts where they're driving in the car, and I'm trying to remember what brings this up exactly, but Del is talking about, oh, it must be so nice to be so perfect and odor-free, because he was going to take his shoes off. That's what it was.
Yeah, they were driving in the car, and that's when he was messing with the seat, trying to find the perfect position.
Yeah.
And then he's like, damn it.
Quit adjusting the seat. You're going to break it.
And he's like, I'm sorry, do you have back problems? Well, I do. He's like, and there's only a few positions you can get in that are comfortable. And he finally finds that sweet spot, and he goes to lean forward, and he's like, oh, great, damn it. It's like, what? And he was like, I just found the perfect position. Now I can't reach my shoes to take them off. He was like, just leave your shoes on. He's like, I don't need your foot odor stinking up this car.
But what I like is, like, when he's saying, quit messing with the seat, you're going to break it.
Yeah.
And Del is like, that's impossible. How can you break a car seat?
And then, but it's funny because when they switch and Del's driving, and you see Neal, and he's like, great, you broke the goddamn seat. Great. And he's like, what? You can't break a seat. And he was like, nah, I'm not going to be blamed for faulty manufacturing.
Yeah. Then the seat lunges forward, and his face smashes into the windshield.
I do like it when he was like, you have a lot of disgusting habits that I never bring up. And he was like, oh, yeah, like what? And he's like, you play with your balls a lot. And he was like,
I do not play with my balls.
He's like, oh, please. Larry Bird doesn't get as much ball handling in one night as you do.
In 1 hour.
Yeah. But then I like when he said,
you know what I would really like?
Yeah, a couple extra balls and some extra fingers.
Which is actually a pretty good line.
It is a very good line. But I love how John Candy laughed at it. Yeah. He was like, what, a few extra balls and some extra fingers?
Yeah. There was a couple heated moments between the two of them, like
right.
in the first hotel or motel that they stayed in, when Del, he's clearing his sinuses to get ready to go to sleep, and it's just obnoxious. It's almost worse than Owen.
Yeah.
It's probably worse than Owen. Not as funny.
No, not as funny as all. But I do, because like he would do it for a little bit and then just be like, sorry. And then start again.
Sorry, Neal.
Sorry, Neal Paige. So finally, like, Neal just had enough of it. And he just gets up. He's like, oh, my God. Oh, I swear. But I love how he goes on that tirade.
Yeah, he says something. So what happens if your kid is, like, chewing too loud? Do you smack him in the back of the head?
So what's that supposed to mean?
I'm saying you're not a very tolerant person.
I think he is a very tolerant person. Just because of the fact that everything he went through with Del, and then finally that was what pushed him over.
That was the straw.
Yeah.
Neal goes on that whole tangent about how boring Del is.
Yeah.
He's saying, when you tell your little stories and everything, it's you're not even stumbling on anything what could be considered like mildly amusing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, and one more thing. While you're telling these stories, at least have a point. He's like, and I can sit in through these business meetings for hours or days at a time, and I'd be totally fine.
They're going to be like, God, how are you not wanting to blow your brains out? And he's like, because I've been with Dill Griffith. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I know him. Shower curtain ring guy? Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to subject you to one of his stories, or here, listen to one of his stories. Here's a pistol, so you can put yourself out of your misery. But what was his comeback after that? He was like, all right. So
he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, so
you want to take shots at me? Or?
Yeah, and he was like, he's like, that's okay. I'm an easy target. He's like, yeah. He's like, well, here's one thing. He's like, I could be a cynic like you. He's like, but I'm not. He's like, I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. And then just goes on and makes you feel this big, because you can sit there and kind of sympathize with Neal and be like, I want to kill this guy. I really want to kill this guy. But then he comes back with something so heartfelt, and you're like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, what can you do?
Yeesh.
Yeah, so he ends up crawling back to bed with him.
Yep. I do like it because he lays back down, and he has his back to him. And then you just see Steve Martin just kind of like, knowing that he did something bad, like puts his hat back up and then turns around and looks at Dell, and Dell's just kind of peeking over his shoulder, but real quick moves back like, I wasn't looking.
Are you coming back to bed? Toity straight down to the right,
yep.
Sweetie.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, this movie, I think the weirdest thing about this entire movie, to me, the ending. A lot of things about the ending don't make any sense at all. Like, you do find out that Dell doesn't have a home. He talks about his wife, Marie, but never
in past tense. It's always present.
Yeah.
Like, my wife loves me, not loved me.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where you just kind of sit there like, wow, you never really put two and two together, but there are like little hints here and there, like in the last hotel that they're in when they're, when Steve Martin's drinking tequila and eating Doritos, and he's like, all in all, you have a wife that loves you very much, that you can grow old with. And he's just kind of like, like not even acknowledging the statement.
Never confirms or denies it.
Yeah. And then when they're in the diner and Steve Martin's like, oh, I've been spending way too much time away from home. And then Dell's like, I haven't been home in years. He's like, what? He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, no, it's just a figure of speech. He's like, I'm always traveling, so it just feels like I'm never home. But then at the end, he's like, oh, I need to put this together, and finds Dell at the train station. And he was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, yeah, Marie died 8 years ago. It's like, I don't have a home.
I don't have a home, yeah.
So he brings him home with him. The thing that doesn't make any sense is he walks up to his own house and rings the doorbell. Why not just open the door? I mean, It's your house.
You should have a key.
Yeah.
Or was that stolen along with your quiche?
But it's like that whole thing doesn't make any sense. He introduces Dell to his in-laws, his kids, his parents, and his wife comes down the stairs, and she's just happy to see him. And John Hughes, I don't know what you were thinking with the
soundtrack, man.
The soundtrack, dude. Like, I mean, come on.
It's playing like the instrumental version of Every Time You Go Away.
Yes.
Where you just hear like the background vocals. That's
I mean,
but it's inappropriate for the scene.
It's very inappropriate.
I'm glad he figured things out by the time he did Home Alone.
I'm really thinking that, what he should have done. God, it would have been just as successful if he had just done Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
Anything.
I mean, come on.
All right, so with that being said, what would your ideal ending have been?
Anything else in the world would have been a more ideal ending than the way this movie ended.
Right, because it shows Neal's wife is up on the stairs.
Yes.
And he meets her pretty much like halfway. And they kiss, and then it cuts to John Candy, and he's like fiddling with his hat.
Right, and then just stares
and then
at
just
him.
Looks up and then smiles.
And then that's how it ends.
That's it. In my opinion, they could have cut to everybody sitting at the dinner table eating Thanksgiving dinner, just having conversation. The music will get louder so you can actually tell what they're talking about, but then it'll just slowly pan out to the outside of the house and then end scene, roll credits, whatever. I think that would have been a better ending.
Yeah, well, like I said, anything would have been a better ending.
Yep.
Macaulay Culkin walking into the house because it's the same house they used in Home Alone.
It looks like the exact same silver tuna tonight.
Yeah. It is the exact same house that they used in Home Alone, and I swear that would have been a better ending. But I do like that after the credits, it goes back to the original guy. Yeah. That it starts off with, and he's looking at the prints for the cosmetic line or whatever to find out which one. Yeah. He wants to choose.
Yeah, because it's like, are you picking what order they should go in? Are you picking which one out of the three?
I think he's trying to pick which one out of the three
but he
likes the best.
Holding it up above his head as if that's going to make a difference. It's a two-dimensional image.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that's what makes it so funny.
It is ridiculous. But the car rental scene has got to be the best. The best scene in the entire movie. Yes, it is. I mean, because I do love the soundtrack that they use there. The bus drops them off, which, I mean, you just have to figure that the rental lot is that far away that he had to take a bus to get there. I've actually... Rewind. God, what the hell happened? I just had a stroke. I found out that they actually had to rent like 250 cars just to film this scene. What? Yeah. Isn't that insane? How come they couldn't just use a car rental place? I think they didn't want to stigmatize any specific car rental place, so they fabricated this marathon rental company. Yeah, so he gets dropped off in the middle of this parking lot, and the car that he was rented.
There you go. I like the bus driver's voice. He's like, straight ahead right down the lot and just V5.
V5.
Like, what?
Yeah, and the car's missing. So he's trying to run after the bus to get him to stop. It's like, come back.
But I love the music for that, because then you hear Steve Martin's voice like just in the soundtrack as well. And he's like, you're messing with the wrong guy. So he has to walk back 3 miles.
Yeah.
To get there. And he was like, across a highway, across a fucking runway.
How he gets into the runway?
I don't know.
You can't walk across an airport tarmac without getting arrested.
Right.
It's against the law.
Yes.
Yeesh. But yeah, so he finally gets back to the car rental place. He's got a tie tied around his head.
Yeah, which I don't understand.
It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe he was just trying to.
But okay, now folks, we don't want to put the wrong impression out there. Like, he has a tie tied around his head, not Rambo style.
No.
Like, it's more like
it's
tied
still,
as if he was wearing a bonnet.
It's still around his neck, but he took the 2 pieces of the tie and tied it in like
under his chin.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
You know, it reminds me of how people used to do, like when they had like dental surgery and they had the ice bag,
right?
And they would tie like a rag or a towel around their head to hold it in place.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. But
I think the only thing that I could think is maybe he did it to keep his ears warm.
That's possible.
But
because it was cold.
Yeah.
It was definitely cold out there.
What do you think the temperature is?
1. But yeah, he gets the rental counter, and you got the lady, and I don't remember what I know her from, but
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Is that what she's from?
Yeah, she was Grace.
She's got that. She sounds like she's from Wisconsin.
She probably is. I don't know if she's passed or not, but her name is Edie McClurg.
You'd probably recognize her if you're a Gen Xer.
Yeah,
I would say. But she's talking to one of her, I'm guessing a friend or a relative.
I think it's her sister.
But because
she says something about mom making the turkey.
And then, yeah, because she's like, yeah, I'll do the crescent rolls and you do the cranberries.
Yeah,
I can't cook.
You know I can't cook.
What is she says something about ambrosia?
Yeah, she was like, oh yeah, she's like, yeah, mom wants to make ambrosia, so we got to get the little mini marshmallows.
I've never even heard of ambrosia aside from the band, but
well, they took their name from the salad.
There it is.
Ipso facto.
That's a given.
That's how they got their name.
They really like dessert. But yeah, he gets up to the counter. She looks at him like,
well, it's funny because she's on the
happened to this guy?
It's funny because she's on the phone and he just comes up and he's like, and she just holds her finger up
real quick.
Yeah, and she was like, all right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, gobble gobble. Hangs up, and then she was like, oh, can I help you?
Yes.
How may I help you?
You can start by wiping that stupid fucking smile off your rosy fucking cheeks. Then you can give me a fucking automobile, a fucking Toyota, a fucking Datsun, a fucking Mustang, or a fucking Buick. Something with 4 wheels and a seat.
Yeah. He's like, I really don't appreciate. And she was like, I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me.
Well, I don't appreciate the fact that your rental company left me out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I had to walk 3 fucking miles back across a fucking highway, a fucking airport runway. I don't fucking remember the rest of
but then he
shit.
goes off, and then she was like, may I see your rental agreement?
I threw it away.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, what?
You're fucked.
And it's funny because I've never heard Steve Martin talk like that in anything else that he's done. He usually does more family-friendly movies.
Yeah, and he might have one where he might drop like an F-bomb or something, but it's very rare. And so to hear him talk like that was a very welcome surprise.
Yeah, and
I loved it.
I also read that because of this scene, which took place in almost exactly 1 minute, because of the use of the F word so many times, I think it's 19 times total in a minute, it pushed it to that R rating.
Nice.
Otherwise, it would have been like PG-13, whatever.
I love it. I love it.
Such a good scene.
Yes. It was such a great movie.
Yeah, and like I said, the more I watch it, the funnier it gets. The more things that I notice, and that seems to be the trend. So this might be my new Thanksgiving tradition.
Yes.
Because up to this point, I haven't really had one as far as movies go.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people have, because I don't think a lot of people actually know that this is
A Thanksgiving
movie.
Yep.
I mean, it could just be taking place anytime.
Well, while we're on the subject, what do you have any memorable Thanksgiving traditions besides this movie, obviously?
In all honesty, and it's funny because I don't know why, but for some reason when I was a kid, and it's still like this today, you know, my parents, they always hosted Thanksgiving. Like a good majority of times, it was always them hosting Thanksgiving.
Right.
Everybody from both sides of my family that lived in Florida at the time would all come to our house. And I don't know why, but for some reason, it seems like every Thanksgiving, Rambo First Blood was always on. So I always considered that a Thanksgiving movie.
That's funny.
So
I remember they always had the Twilight Zone marathon on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And I always try to make a point to put that on because even as a kid, like for some reason, I fucking loved the Twilight Zone.
Which is kind of weird.
That Rod Serling is...
Yeah. Each one hot piece of ace.
Speaking from experience.
No, you're not.
Why do you think it's weird? Because I don't like that genre typically?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, because you and I have talked about it. Like, I mean, you've told me you don't mind.
Yeah.
Like scary movies, as long as it's not like over the top.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, but that's even the same way with me. Like, I enjoy a good scary movie, but when it goes into like the gore factor, and I just look at it and I'm like, it's just not needed.
Yeah.
You know, like the saws and everything. I'm just like,
overkill.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't need this.
I mean, there are some gory things in some other, like, not considered horror movies, but like, for instance, Predator. Yeah. You know, when you see the bodies that are strung up,
right? They've
been completely skinned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that kind of shit doesn't really bother me a whole lot.
Right.
It's not like
I mean, because it's small and it's subtle. Like, I mean, in Saw, you know that someone is like has their jaw wired to some trap that's just going to shoot open. And then, you know, in 10 minutes, someone's going to like have a car tire land on their face while, you know, the car falls and takes off and drives through a wall and impales into like metal rods and kills the person that's glued to the seat.
Right.
It's unnecessary.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeesh. But that's about the size of it. Unless there was anything else that you wanted to mention.
No.
Any honorable mentions?
No, just you know, John Candy. Loved his performance in this movie. You know, May You Rest went a little bit too young.
He did.
I swear he could have. Makes me wonder what he would be doing today if he was still alive.
Great things, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, easily. So, but that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, good deal. All right, well, that's about the size of it. But from me, my family to yours, I like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I hope everybody gets to do something special.
Stay safe and stay full.
Amen. Sister. I lost my train of thought. I had another fucking stroke. All right. Well, another episode down.
Yep.
And that being said, Quotable Podcast out.
$6 in my right nut says we're not landing in Chicago.